Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel playing League of Legends. Obviously if you knew my old channel, you obviously know I play League. But today we're doing something different. Today we're doing a guide on every single champion. Obviously not right now, but in the future it's going to be every single champion. So the first champion is Aatrox. As you can see, I'm using the sandbox or a practice tool, whatever you want to call it, and I'm against Leona, which obviously just going to be their base standing nowhere because yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you Aatrox. I'm going to go between basics and some advanced tools, but before I do that, I'm going to remind every single episode that I'm not a main of every single champion in the game. I main about 10ish champions. I know how to do them, I know how to play them. I know the basics of most all the champions. So if you're pro the champion, like if you want trick Aatrox and I do something wrong, please tell me. Don't just shout at me, okay? Because I'm not a main Aatrox. I'm just know how to play him basically. But I'll try my best to make it a good kind of informational and yeah. Basically. And you low 6. So as Aatrox, this obviously don't look at the stats because they're gonna change from the items, levels, runes, etc. So don't worry about that. So Aatrox, he is a damage dealing split pusher, I guess you can say that, a champion. Basically, you go to lane, you whack a lot of minions. Oh yeah, dummies. Can I small? Enemy dummy. And dummy. So, as you can see, if you look right at the bottom of the screen, you're gonna see 874 health, which is obviously my health, and just below that it says 0 out of 283. I'm not sure what it's called. Blood, I guess you can say it's blood. Let me pull them ones, so I can just spam abilities for that. Kind of, I gave away what the abilities, but yeah. Just making sure I'm recording, and it's actually all good and dandy. Okay, it's fine. So, he's passive. Basically, I'm gonna auto like this as I'm speaking. Oh no, okay, apparently it doesn't. Okay, let's use Scoutcraft as a thingy. So, as I attack it, do you not? Okay, fine. What am I using you on then? Okay, upon being hit by fatal damage, Aatrox loses his first blood well, courage health. So self-inflicted damage, what do you mean? Oh, okay. So basically, if okay, they changed Aatrox a bit. Before, there used to be that you attack and then you carry on thingy. But now, Aatrox, it changed, and now, when you cast this stuff, you drain your health, as you can see, 10% now. 5% and then 0 cost. Basically, you use your health to get the red thingy, which is, I don't know what it's called. Just let's use the blood because that's just no sense. So you use that. Okay, when I die, or at least try to die. Focus me. So when I die, I'm not gonna auto attack it. I'm going to do that so a little bit faster. So as you can see, when Aatrox dies, his passive comes and changes his blood into his life, and then as you can see there's a little debuff which basically changes his blood into his health. So the more high level you are, the more blood I think you're gonna get. Yeah, as you can see that I have more blood level now. Let's go all those, 18. There you go, that's my highest. Okay. Oh, misplay. Misclick. So let's go back to the abilities. Time for some come on. Time for some abilities. Let's eat that, because why not? So before he used to be a really difficult split push champion. Now I see him as a split pusher, but in a sense that he's like really defense, because obviously you use your health as damage resource. So maybe Aatrox is now more like a tank than a fighter. I don't play Aatrox, so I don't know if he's still a fighter or not. So anyway, passive I just talked about. Q just basically jumps and does damage, obviously only to enemies, as you can see, boop, and gives them knockup on the air. Just that's basically all it does. If you see, when you see the inside of the circle, the inside puts him up and on the lower side, so right there, you're gonna give it a slow. So this is inside of a small circle, knockup. Outside of a small circle, it's gonna be a slow. So you have to be quite careful of aiming this, because it depends what you need. For example, if you need a slow or knockup, if you prefer knockup, obviously it's gonna be better. Do that. But if you can't do knockup and you get slow, it's fine. Except if you're Yasuo, if you have a Yasuo on your team, which is a completely different story. Anyway, his W. And his W has his passive, and active. As you can see, there's passive. You can read it if you really want to, and which I technically just explain. His Q does that. Obviously, you can read it. By the way, I used instant cool, instant mana, cooldown, etc. And then that's his W. So when the W is on passive or off, every third attack will heal it myself. So let's do some damage to myself, because that's the only good thing. That's the only thing I can do to myself to detain other people. Okay. There you go. As you can see, I'm missing health. The more attack, as you can see, I have 86, 86. So every third attack. There you go. As you can see, this, if you time it correctly, you will get a buff which says Aatrox next attack will heal him, and if you press W, you will change and you will do damage. So if you're helping your jungler in the top here with blue, and you start with W for some reason, you can make it to active to do extra damage. As you can see, every third attack Aatrox does 200 plus 24 bonus physical damage and loses 56 health. Oh, so technically you just lose health. Oh, okay, so I lose health. Okay, it's fine. So yeah, you could so maybe 2 or 1. So okay, what you could do in a jungler, if you're helping a jungler, you can turn on your W. I don't know why it doesn't say what keystone it is, keybinds, but it's fine. If you press W and you turn it on, you will do extra damage, which helps your jungler, and then you can turn it off to get a your health back. Obviously, meanwhile, you come from there to the lane. That's pretty much full now, because that 56, or depends on the level, obviously, and then heals you for I don't know how much, but still it heals you out still. And also when if you're on your laning, just hitting a minion, etc., we're gonna heal you back. As you can see, 86 now. It's gonna heal you, so there's no worry about that. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just carry on making it, and then when I finish all my abilities, I'll talk about combinations, etc. So E, as you can see, saw before, this is just that. That's how it looks when you. Oh, it doesn't actually do. If you use a normal cast instead of quick cast, yeah, normal cast, you'll see this. When you click, that's basically the aim point thingy. So you could just do that. And it's got a bit. If you're right in front of it like that. No, that's wrong, dummy. If you like this, then it's quite easy to hit, as you can see right there, 133 damage. But if you're quite far away, that like, okay, Jesus Christ, oh God, that's long. So if you do that, one, it will do less damage. Two, well, let's try this. Really. So let's see. Does it actually do less damage? Okay, it does actually less damage, surprisingly. Oh, depends. Oh, it just depends how lucky you are. Cool. So yeah, aiming on the tip of your E is quite difficult to do. So what you obviously I'm not going to say combinations, but obviously you probably can guess what kind of combinations you need to do to land your Q, W, E, etc. correctly. Now he's old. Oh yeah, you can read the W, E, etc. W, Alt. I keep on saying the wrong things. Basically, I become super powerful guy. Give you attack speed, damage, range, etc. So let's see this. Alt. And then just destroy this completely. As you can see, I got a massive range now compared to previous. I get attack speed, I got extra damage. As you can see, 109. Oh, I don't actually get damage. Oh, attack range, sorry. So yeah, let's compare my old one. So right, let's just do that. So this compared to this, as you can see, it's slightly a bit bigger, and I get more attack speed, which is good. Okay, you can stop now. You can buy items, but items obviously you can just buy requirement. That is the most useful one. Death Dance, because every time you, let's tip him back. Oh wait, I have TP. What's it? Shift S. Beep. I'll slow up. Wrong one. Death Dance is the best item, I think. A lot, which has damage. On Aatrox right now, I think they need to buy lifesteal, like Bloodthirster maybe. Well, it's not really here, but it depends where you go. If you go still go tanky, if you go damage, then you need to go this, then probably this, and lifesteal. Then probably this. Might this if you have a lot of CC, if they have CC, or they, for example, are the really powerful champion in one team for some reason, you can buy that thingy. You have 2 actives and you have 40% lifesteal, which is going to be a lot. And then, okay, you might not need this item, and then you could go a bit tanky. It depends, obviously, if they have magic resist, you could maybe buy this, maybe this. If you die a lot, you could buy that. If they have not a lot, if they have a bad split pushing potential, buy ZZ. Just whack it, for example, top lane, and then go mid for team fight, etc. This could be useful as well. What else did I say? Yeah, that's obviously armor, magic resist. That's a bit damage, a little bit of magic resist. That's more health, magic resist. Obviously, if you don't play the game, you know the shop. I hope so. You can just mess around. Armor. Ice-Borne Gauntlet could be useful. I guess, but I don't see. I can see using Ice-Borne Gauntlet quite often, but it's not like a machine gun often, if that makes sense. So it's not like button, auto attack, button, auto attack, button, auto attack. So maybe something to do. Wait, that's AP scaling. That's AP and that's AP. Okay, so I was thinking right now maybe you could buy where is it? That. Alright, Squish Scepter because it gives you slow, and then that with that. Obviously, it depends what you're building. If you need a bit of AP, you could go that, or maybe a row as well next to it to compromise the to have a bit of tankiness and also have a bit of damage. Obviously, if you're going full AP, then obviously Abyssal, maybe then this, because it gives you damage and AP. Or maybe even the Stinger. Stinger to Nash's Steve. There's so many different variations. I didn't know you can get AFK warning where you're just talking to people. Okay, fine. And if you're going for full tank, you could go maybe Thornmail if they have like hyper carries like Ashe, Jinx, Lucian. No, Lucian not so much, but like Ashe and Jinx are like a lot of just auto tank damage. So that's quite good. If they have like Yasuo, this is also good. With this, it just completely destroys his damage. Not completely, but you know what I mean. Obviously, it depends on amount of physical damage they have against magical damage. So if they have a lot of armor, physical damage, but a lot of my armor compared to more armor compared to magic resist. Obviously, probably knew that, but my build probably will be. Obviously, depends on people. So if they have typical 2 APs, 2 EDs, and 1 tank fully, then you could go. Obviously, still depends on what champion, but you maybe could go. Maybe obviously Thumbnail. There may be Frozen Heart, and then Magic Resist will go that. Maybe that a bit, and then GA, and then maybe ZZ. Okay, that would be my build. If they had 2 APs, 2 EDs, and 1 tank, because ZZ gives you attack and armor magic resist, the same as GA. This gives you lifesteal, magic resist. No, it doesn't give you lifesteal. Does it? No, it doesn't. Oh, my bad. You could go just this. Sorry, wrong item. You could go that for a bit of lifesteal. Depends obviously if you're auto-attacking. If you're not auto-attacking, then you could sell that into previous one. And then obviously that for depends on what a ADC they have. And yeah, and let's restart the game because I kind of feel I'm too lazy to change sell the items. That's easy just for me to do that. Anyway, now the combinations of him. That doesn't really matter. So it obviously depends where the oh come on! I hate when you click it and it actually spawns it. It's all his playstyle it's a bit weird for me. It's good in a way that Shift-D and Shift-N. Okay. I'm pressing Shift-D. Or is it Control-Shift? Oh, B, not D. And then Shift. What is it? N. So it depends. It all depends on where your enemy and where your allies. Obviously, it's not going to be here. It's going to be mid lane, but pretend this river is mid lane. So obviously, in perfect situations, it's going to be something like that. No, not really. You're going to have your AD carries. You're going to have your AD carries here. They may be. Oh shit. Then you have obviously tanks at the front. And let's build you like there. Then you have maybe some magic damage. So it should be look something like that. Pokey damage at the back, so like AD carries. This could be a mid lane and with your top. This could be your jungle. Okay, obviously depends on where people go. So usually full tank at the top. Some tanky ability power guide there, same as tanky magic. Yeah, physical magic damage top there, and then who else? And full AP and full AD kind of at the back. So usually obviously it's going to be the exact same on enemy team. Let's pretend I'm an ally, red team. Enemy. So if you have the exact same situations against this, what you could do if you have if you're good on timings and predictions, you couldn't stand next to your wall somewhere, like on this bush maybe, if it's not warded, or maybe here somewhere. Depends obviously what side. If you're blue side, then you have to be quite good at pushing your enemy and not losing a 4v5. Meanwhile, you could jump over here. If you're red team, it's much easier, obviously. And here, obviously, you could do from here, possibly, but if your team can do or not. So let's pretend that's the wall, one of them. It doesn't really matter which one. So as an Aatrox, I think that's my guess. Don't scream at me if it's wrong. My guess is for you to ward over the wall. So, like example, your team fight is from here. You go back, place a wall down there if you have any minions. Tell your team to go back. Wait for them to be around here and ally some enemies here. So that's, imagine this is what's this? Shift B. So for example, if this is, imagine if this, obviously this was destroyed, but imagine if this was the whole game team, you're obviously gonna have tanks at front and educators at the back. So if you're right here, let me just quickly kill them because they're a bit in the way. Yeah, it's okay through there. I need more attack speed. Jesus, it's really slow. Oh yeah. Okay, there you go, don't mind me. So, if I'm here, I place down the ward, like here somewhere, so you can see the full vision. Then you wait for the AD carriers to, tanks to pass. So you have AD carriers on the line. There's two options you could do. You could either flash off the wall and then Q on AD carry. This is obviously right here. But if you flash and then Q, obviously it's not going to reach all the way. So you could have done, you could do is, but it's just unlimited flashes, so that's why I'm doing it. So you could do, you can actually, no you can't see, okay. Maybe jump over that wall like that to see the maximum optimization and then somehow try to predict where the carry is. So 90% of chance it's going to be somewhere at the center. So you're technically safe if you jump over the wall. Or you could either obviously flash and then Q and then E and then ult maybe if you can kill them. If not, obviously it's gonna be if you can't kill them, just stay with your team and try to have a picks. For example, if you're one of the enemies is top or bottom, splitting pushing with because of your ZZ. Let me go back and buy some items for the future. Attack speed. There you go, that should be enough. So yeah, you could either flash, Q, E, alt, and then just completely destroy them like that, and obviously have it on if you're invincible. I mean, then you could put it on to do extra damage, or if you don't feel like you can kill them in one shot, or like you need to be a bit more sustained compared to the. Okay, if you think the enemy team has a slow reaction, then you can have it on, off, to gain the health back. And let me check how much time I have. Geez, 25 minutes. Okay, 23. Stop. You can have it off. If you feel like you just need to shut them down as fast as you can, then put it on. Obviously, you have a big chunk of attack speed. You could do that like a lifesteal, etc. Create. Then you can do it. Obviously, if it's 1v5, then don't do it because you die instantly. If it's 5v5, then try to taunt, try to freeze it somewhere here, so you can jump over the wall. Obviously, if you have good teammates, you can try to ask them to freeze somewhere here in this between this gap and this gap. So the enemy is going to be in this category, this box. I wish I could show you drawing it, but I can't. I guess I could do with the dummies. Let's try to do that. So if they're in between this and what's that one? P. So it should be between this category. Really? Can I just kill you? Not really. This so annoying. Boop. Okay, let's increase my level so I can one-shot them quite easily. Now yeah. So, obviously flash Q if you can, Alt E, etc. Other way you could do is Q, then flash. Obviously depends where they are. If they're right next to you, just jumped on top of them, like if they're right here for some reason, trying to ward or something. Then you could maybe what you could do is Alt and then Q over and then just completely destroy them. And obviously W depends what you need to do. Obviously that's the perfect situation, which chances are it's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, you can kill Baron and dragons quite easily. Obviously, and also it depends what dragons you have. Because if you have, for example, what dragons are there? If, for example, you have cloud dragons, 3 cloud dragons for some reason. I don't know why, but if you have 3 cloud dragons, that's not really going to help you in team fights. If you have 3 inferno dragons and maybe ocean dragons, then that could help you physically, maybe. Okay. In team fights, you have 2 options: either split push as hard as you possibly can, humanly can, or BS5 and just destroy them mid lane. Obviously, in perfect situations, you should depend on your ally, how well can they do 4v5, and what do you think the enemy will do. For example, if you have ZZ, which I'm not gonna go and buy because I don't want to, I'm too lazy. That's what YouTubers are, lazy. Yay, roast. Anyway. if your ally team can 4v5 somewhat easily, and for example if you have full base open until the Nexus, then chances are you should stay in mid lane and try to 4v5 or at least get extra time. If it's opposite way, then you could either help them if somehow you won in a team 5, for example, you died. Ah, oh, stupid chickens. Can you just die, please? Thank you. So yeah, depends obviously what team is that. If they can, how do you say it? If they can 45 quite easily, you just split push top or bot. Does not matter. Just split push until someone comes to you. At least one person. Jesus, scares the hell out of me. So if one person comes, try to kill them. If you can't kill them, go back. Then maybe TP bot or something, and then just do that. If they come back, then press B top, and then or you could put ZZ stop at top and then go bot. So they have 2 choices between top and bot. Chances are both two people are gonna go top. Two people are gonna go back. For one for top or 2, and second for bottom. Stop you and ZZ bottle. So yeah, it depends on what situations and what items you buy. Should I recommend Aatrox? Not really, because there's a better champions who pretty much do the same role. For example, split champions are Jack, Xin Zhao, Tryndamere, which we haven't seen forever. Poppy not so much, but who else can be a good split pusher? Yeah, Jack and Xin Zhao are good split pushers. But a lot of people, Xin Zhao and Jax do problems they split when they don't need to. Obviously I'm going to talk about that in the next episode when I actually going to come into Jack and Xin Zhao category, which is going to be technically forever. I have to wait until forever. So anyway, hopefully you learned something new from me talking about Aatrox. This has been a 30 minutes episode, just a first episode, but whatever. So anyway, if you like the episode, please give it a like, subscribe for more guides. Obviously depends on what champion I will maybe do and do beginners or intermediates kind of guide. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye. I'm gonna wait until 30 minutes. And